Hello everyone, how are you doing? It's been a while. It's really been a while. But anyway, I'm here today again to drop another video. I've made like 5 or more videos on gonorrhea. You can just go to my channel on YouTube, Dr. Tinuade, on sexually transmitted infections, and download it. Or you can go to my page on Facebook, STI and Female Health Matters with Dr. Tinuade. I have some on TikTok, on Instagram. Just type my name, Ajani Tinuade. You can get those videos and other videos because I don't want to repeat myself. So today we're going to talk about symptoms of gonorrhea in men, then complications of gonorrhea in men and women. So now let's talk about symptoms of gonorrhea in men. And when we say symptoms, that's what do you say? Like when you come to the hospital, what do you complain to us? What do you tell us? I mean, us, we doctors, like, oh, this is what is happening to me. This is what I see, and like that. That's what I'm talking about. So for people infected with this bacteria, Neisseria gonorrhoeae, that's the name of the bacteria that causes gonorrhea. What do they see? How do they present? In men, a lot of people are asymptomatic. It's the same thing in women. In fact, a larger percentage have this bacteria in their body and they don't even know. And that is just the truth. They don't know. And that is because normally the bacteria is there just walking inside the body and the body is just not showing any symptoms. But the problem is that the fact that the body isn't showing symptoms doesn't mean those people infected cannot come down with complications. That is what happens to them after this infection is in their bodies for a very long time and they've not been treated. What happens? So that's complications. I'm still going to talk about that later. But in men, what do you see? So they have this discharge. That place where they urinate from their penis, they have this like whitish discharge coming out. It can be creamy. It can look like pus. So they have that and it just come out anyhow. It's different from sperm. Most men that are infected with gonorrhea, they know what I'm saying, that this is not about them having wet dream or anything. Just come out so many times like that. They just start discharging, and that is gonorrhea, and it's always good to come for treatment. Other things that we can say, men, is what we call dysuria. That's painful urination, because that passageway, that urethra, that's the passageway where the sperm will come out from. It's also the same passageway that the urine will come out from. So they can have, that place can have inflammation. I've explained inflammation before in my other video. Just check it out. So let's just say there is a wound in that area. So it just makes urination very difficult and painful. So men, they just have this pain around this side. They just feel like, oh, when they want to urinate, it's difficult and they're having pain. Or sometimes on their penile shaft, on the penis, they have pain. Some people even unbearable pain. So they have that. So those are symptoms in men. So now let's talk about the complications. Now let me start with complications in females. One of the complications in female is PID. We call it pelvic inflammatory diseases. So what this happens is that the upper part of our reproductive area, now the fallopian tube area, the womb, the ovary, all these areas can get infected, and sometimes they just gum together. They look so messy. Just think about having a wound that is not treated, and this wound is just bad, and this wound is just messy. So that is what we see. I'm talking about pelvic inflammatory diseases now. So from that now, people cannot have infertility because there's no way where the egg will come out from. Everything would have been blocked because of infection. So we have infertility. And another bad one is what we call ectopic pregnancy, and that is really very bad. In fact, it's one of what we call obstetric emergency, like something that if an obstetrician see, they just want to clear that problem very fast because of the wound in that area, because the place might have come together. So if somebody even manage to have like a zygote, like a fetus, maybe had sex and the sperm met with the egg, and now the baby is formed and the baby has to stay somewhere. But the bad thing is that where the baby is supposed to stay is sick, is messy. So the baby will just find another place to stay. It might be around one side in the abdomen. Let's just say another place that it's not meant to be in the body. And sometimes, because it's baby, fetus, that thing will continue to grow. So at a point, that thing can rupture. That means it can break down and the person will start bleeding. And if care is not taken, the person can die. In fact, we have had a lot of deaths because of ectopic pregnancy. So, and you see, the problem always start from something simple that can actually be prevented, like gonorrhea. There can be other reasons for ectopic pregnancy, but complications like PID is just one of them. And apart from that, a woman can have what we call chronic pain. Chronic pain, like the lower part of the abdomen will always be paining them and they feel so uncomfortable. Now, in men too can be sterile because the tube that is always storing the sperm, bringing the sperm out for fertilization, and that place also can get sick, can be inflamed, and when it happens, a man too can be sterile. So gonorrhea is one of the things that causes sterility in men. Like somebody will just be there, the person will just be, sterile, cannot fertilize an egg. That means the person cannot make a woman to be pregnant. So we have that as well. And another thing is what we call urethral stricture, because that passageway that I was talking about, that passageway can lead, it's the same passageway that will bring urine out. It's the same passageway that sperm will come out from when somebody is having sex. When that place is sick too, is inflamed, it can reduce because the thing want to come together. So when it reduces, so what happens is this: when that person wants to urinate, it will be so painful. Difficulty in urination. Apart from the difficulty, it can also be very, very painful. Sometimes some people, they just have what we call penile shaft pain. The whole of their penis is just paining them and paining them so bad. But in both male and females, we can have other complications, like that bacteria cannot get into the body, into the blood, and that is always a bad one. Although it's rare, but it happens, in fact, in a lot of people. So, and from there, it can go to the heart and cause infection of the heart. It can go to the lung and cause infection of the lung. It can go to the joints, and that one is even commoner. It can cause arthritis, that people just have joint pains. So what we are saying is that gonorrhea can enter into the body to cause more problem, serious problems for people. And the bad thing is, a lot of people are what? They are asymptomatic. They don't know. So, but we have risk factors for it. And what makes people get infected with gonorrhea? One of it is when people have multiple sex partners. Maybe a married man now has other girlfriends. That is a risk. Or maybe somebody, there's something you call lifetime sex partner. By the time it's becoming 3, like when you say, somebody has, since the person started having sex, maybe the person have slept with like 20 people. That's lifetime sex partner. Those kind of people, they have a higher risk. That risk of what? Of getting infected with gonorrhea. And that's why we always say, know your STI status. When you know you have all these risk factors, it's always good to come to the hospital to check yourself and be okay and be good. So if you have any question, you want to get treated, you can contact me on my Gmail, Dr. Tinuade, talking about sexually transmitted infections, 023@gmail.com. I will take that again, Dr. Tinuade, talking about sexually transmitted infections, 023@gmail.com, or I will write my business line. I will put it on this video. You can call me on my business line. Don't worry. Confidentiality is one of the things that we do. Nothing will be traced to you. Till another time. And don't forget to press your notification button so that when I drop any video, you will be notified. Bye. I love you all.